Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to I think the fourth. I think I lost track. I think this one is the fourth episode of my Joker guide so far. Um, Today we're gonna be focusing on camping, my favorite. No, it's not. It is not my favorite. I myself have not even perfected um a camping or even how to counter it, right? Camping is more like a mind game. It can get inside your head, or you can use it to your advantage to get into somebody else's head. So it's a pretty big topic, right? Camping can be used during the game. It doesn't mean that you can be camping the whole time, right? Camping does not mean that you are camping the whole time. It just means that you can use the option to use it whenever you want to, right? Depending on the character, and if your character has projectiles, or even if you just want to stand where you are and let the person come to you, right? That's kind of like the category of camping, right? So I'm gonna be obviously doing it with Joker because that is my main. Um, so I just wanted to start off by saying that that the stage that I'm gonna be picking is very small, which is Smashville. It's like one of the smallest stages of the competitive stage list. So we're gonna be using that. Now, I say this because you can use camping to your advantage on technically whatever stage, but if you're picking a stage that's small like this, it's kind of hard to camp, right? That's why I picked this stage uh in like online matches whenever I know that a person's being campy, because I know that they don't have too much to run from. You know what I'm saying? Like they really don't have that much space to be running from, right? There is not a lot of space for you to go. You can obviously use the platforms, but this platform isn't gonna. If I'm not mistaken, I think if I had hazards off, I think it would just stay in the middle. So even then, you wouldn't have anywhere to go, right? Um, but this is gonna be really hard to teach, or even myself to show off, because it's it's kind of random in a way, right? Like, a person is never going to know during a match when to camp, or well, they are, depending on what the opponent is doing. But I'm just saying, like, going inside the match and you have an opponent that you've never fought before, you kind of have to be ready to either camp yourself or ready to be camped, and you want to be able to counterpick that, right? So I guess we can start off by saying what what can Joker do to camp, right? So there are obviously many ways to camp, not even just using projectiles, but that's mostly the main way, or the main uh um thing of saying, like the camp, right? Is using projectiles in this game. And projectiles in this game are really, really, really annoying. They are so annoying in this game. They can do some crazy stuff, man. Some crazy stuff that you should not even be able to do in this game. But what you can use, which Joker does not have a lot when it comes to um camping, right? All he really has is a side B and gun, right? You can camp with your gun and side B. I said this in my first, I think in my either second or first episode or guide, where I said that um, gun is really important if you can spam it. So that's kind of what you want to do with Joker, right? You want to be able to move in, and you want to be able to go back and forth with gun, right? Because you really want to be able to, really want to be able to use gun to your advantage, right? So you're gonna be using a lot of gun. I'm just saying that right now. You're gonna be using a lot of gun. And if a person is tall enough, you can do this little short hop, um, just in case they try to jump up. Or like I said, if they're tall enough. But if mostly if they try to jump up, you can, do that little short hop into double gun, right? So you can spam it. You can literally spam it in whatever way, and you'll gain damage. And obviously, another way is to spam side B, jump, short hop, or yeah, short hop side B, and then drift a little bit back, right? You can use both of these tools to gain damage and just literally keep your opponent away from you. If you if you don't want your opponent to come any closer, like you can just keep spamming it. Like you see how Byleth is already at, let's see where it ends. Already ending at 43, and obviously this is with moves not being stale. They're not stale. So let's try to do this. I think with at least I think it's off. Yeah, stale moves is off. So let's turn them on. So basically, the more that you do gun, it will do damage. It's just that the reason why people do the double jump, or the second reason why they do the short hop double gun, is because of that, right? Like you want to keep hitting your opponent twice, because the more higher they are, the harder it's gonna be to keep bringing up that percentage, right? So let's keep doing side B, see where that gets us. Let's see where that ends. Right, so 33, right? And if I keep spamming gun, you see how the more higher that you go in percent, or the other opponent goes higher in percent, it's only going to do 0.5 damage. You guys see that on the top right. Total damage will be 0.5, but whenever you do it again, it becomes a solid percentage, right? So you need to keep spamming it, you know what I'm saying? Keep using your side Bs. It'll basically just work, right? This is just something that will work, yeah, mid battle, and you can basically Joker can just basically run the game, right? He can literally run the game. Like he will force an opponent to play Joker's game, right? Which is kind of like it's kind of how you want to play the character, right? You don't want to play him too aggressive when you don't need to. Unlike characters like Roy, like he's a character that absolutely needs to be rushing in most of the time, right? He can wait a little bit, right? He can wait a little bit here and there, but for Roy, he doesn't really take his time, right? You have to be quick with the combos, and it's gonna hit hard if you be precise with the combos, right? For example, I think down throw into, like, if you read, you can do like a double jump back air. You know what I'm saying? Like you can just down throw right here, and then most will just do a back air, right? Because people want to read that, So that's what I mean. Like you can be aggressive with this character, you can be campy with the character, you can basically do whatever you want with Joker. You know, you can do literally anything you want, right? You can keep doing your damage while keeping up the damage with the gun, right? You just want to keep spamming it, right? So you guys get the point, right? Now, how do you avoid camping? This is a very, very hard topic, and I'm not gonna lie, I was trying to stall out there, because to be honest, I really didn't want to get to this part of the video. I think this is gonna be one of the hardest ones, because mind you, like I said, I don't even know myself how to, or I haven't perfected um on how to counter campy players or campy characters. But for starts, I think it's best to pick Smashville, right? I think it's best to pick the stage because of the fact that the stage is so small. It's so freaking small and it's good. You can also pick PS2. That stage is pretty small, but I think for me, I think the best option that you want to do is going to be Smashville. I definitely think that that's gonna really help people out during camping. Uh, when you have Joker and you're facing campy players or campy characters, sorry. Campy opponents and campy players are like literally the worst. Especially if you're online too. I don't really have a problem if it's offline, but when you're talking about online, it's just the worst. It's like either an automatic loss or you're really just struggling the whole match, right? That's what I mean. Like this video is really hard to make because I don't know if most people are gonna use these tips first of all at all, or second, um, in online or offline. These tips and guides usually work for offline, not online, right? You would want to use these tips mostly for online. I'm sorry, not online, offline. You would want to use these most for offline because well, it's just the most consistent gameplay that you're gonna get with Smash Ultimate, right? It's just the most consistent. So I would recommend using these not online. Some of the tips that I actually showed you guys do work online, like the spamming side be at the ledge. Like that really does work mostly um online more than offline. Or it doesn't work more online than it does offline. It's just that I found myself being more successful doing it online first. I've never actually tried that offline. But, if you do it right, I'm pretty sure you can really catch your 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 opponent, right? You can catch your opponent at the ledge. What I recommend doing is this is a big part as well. People can be campy but also really aggressive with the camping. I know it doesn't really make sense, but what I mean by that is like Mega Man players, right? They are really, really big campers in this game, and they can be very annoying, right? And there's nothing wrong about that. They're getting in your opponent's head, you know, like it's not a bad thing to camp, and I feel like a lot of people tend to forget about that. Like it's not a bad thing to camp in this game. It's not. It's very annoying, but it doesn't mean that it's bad, right? You're using a technique in this game or a strategy in this game that it could be brain dead, but at the end of the day you're still winning, right? So it doesn't really matter, right? It still means that you can win, right? When you're being pressured, when you're being camped out, like a Mega Man, or like if you're being like pressured just in general by a campy character, I recommend jumping out of the way, literally going to ledge if you can to have those invincibility frames, and mix up your options off stage, right? Because Mega Man players can use that down air, which has a little bit of a startup, which can really mess you up when you're trying to get on stage. So I definitely recommend doing that. Another thing is if an opponent has a projectile that the other person can pick up, like Mega Man, uh, you can use that to your advantage as well. Mega Man and Pac-Man are two very good examples. In fact, I think they're the only examples of doing that. You can pick up their items themselves when they drop. You can either Z grab, and what I mean by that is picking up items or their projectiles with the R button, which is also called the ZR. Um, you can also pick it up by just pressing A. You can use neutral air and stuff like that. You can pick it up midair. Use their projectiles basically against them. It's not gonna work out 100%, but I know I've seen it before. I've seen it when people use the other opponent's projectiles to their advantage. It doesn't get fully inside their head. It just makes them confused, like, oh, what are they gonna do? Like, do they know how to use my projectile? It kind of brings that question in their head, and it's really important to know how to use it to their advantage. And I think a really good example of that is Frostbite 2019, 2020. I think it was, yeah, I think it was 2020. Frostbite 2020. MKLeo versus T. That was a really, really important match. Which, by the way, I just wanted to say, I I will be reacting to, or I will be analyzing later on, most of MKLeo's matches. So I feel like they're really important. I really feel like most of them are really important to more watch than me talk about them or people talking about them. But yeah, this is just really hard to get through because I can't tell somebody, or I can't tell you guys to just shield all the time, right? That would most likely be your only, or one of your best options, is a shield, right? It could shield a lot of stuff, right? But I, I wouldn't say that, because there are a lot of confirms what people can get, and especially if you become too comfortable with shielding against projectiles, people can easily get on that, and um and just read you, right? They can do a confirm which will break your shield, uh, like the Mega Man one, or they'll just take advantage of your shield, of your uh shielding, and then they can just grab you, right? And then they can either get a kill, or they can just continue on with it, or they can just get you off stage to camp, right? So listen, the the main part that you want to know about this is just keeping patient. Patience is also something that you're going to need against campy players, just how it is. You're going to need to play patient with them, because if you can't play patient and you're just going to be going forward and letting everything hit you, the damage is going to pile up, and then you're going to die easily. And then when you're on that second stock and they're still at that three stock mark, and they have like 40 to 50%, it's going to be really, really hard to get to them, right? Because at that point they can just mega camp, right? They can, no pun intended, but they can literally camp you out like way harder than the first stock, right? So you want to be able to use their projectiles to your advantage, keep a distance when you need to, right? Shield only when you need to. Do not shield the whole time. Do not, I'm telling you, just be patient, go in when you need to, and make sure to parry. That's also another thing that I don't see a lot of people doing. I myself don't do it a lot. I more so try to forget about it, because you need to be kind of precise when it comes to parrying in this game, and I feel like parrying is just like, I don't want to say it's meaningless, because I know it means a lot in this game, or it doesn't mean a lot, but like you can use it to your advantage. But it's not like Smash 4, where you can just tap the button and you need to hold it, or not hold it, but you need to tap the shield button at the right time. No, in this game, you need to let go of the shield button at the right time in order to do an attack, which I can understand, right? You have a couple of frames to react, but the thing is that if you're away, right, you can easily just jump, right? You can jump, you can literally spot dodge, which I don't recommend doing with Mega Man's forward smash. Um, you can hop to ledge, get that invincibility frames. You can jump in the air and air dodge. Uh, you you can shield it even, depending on what it is. You can even, actually, this is great timing with Arsene, because he's a very big help, because you can do down B. But I think I said this in one of my past videos. People can read Joker very, very well, especially when it comes to the down B, the counter with Arsene, or even just regular down B with regular Joker without Arsene. It can be really predictable, right? It can be really predictable, and people can fake it out. So, like I said, the whole purpose of this is to learn patience, learn when to go in, learn your opponent, and just try not to let them go to your head, right? They can really get inside your head, and it can get really annoying. Trust me, I know how it is. They can really get inside your head, and it just gets really annoying. So, listen, at the end of the day, if you don't take anything from this video, I guess all you can do is just hope for the best that you don't get a camper in one of your brackets, or even in pools if you're going back to IRL tournaments. I heard those tournaments are coming back in Japan. Um, but yeah, just hope that you don't get a campy character or a campy player. And if you want to, just take one of my tips in this video. I think that's all I have to say. All right, so I'm gonna finish this off with a forward smash, like I always do. So again, I really hope that you guys take something from this video. I really hope you guys find this really helpful. I will see you guys later. Also, thanks for liking, or thanks for